Back in October, I was looking around on the internet for a horror game I could play to get my channel into the Halloween spirit, and in my searches, I found a game called Corpse Party. Now, I've heard of this game before, in that it was pretty messed up, so I decided to go ahead and check it out.
It's piss! There's piss in the bucket!
After checking out said game, I had went ahead and played 2 visual novels based off of that game I played back in October, and I can say this now. I really enjoyed the Corpse Party series. So after doing a little bit of digging, I had realized that there was an OVA animation series based off of the game. So I went ahead and jumped right in on watching that OVA series, and I can say that I was kind of disappointed by how it turned out to be like. Like, I wouldn't say that it's bad. I've seen stuff that is pretty bad, but I just have to say it did not meet up to the expectations I was hoping for. Let's just begin with my first pinpoint, the animation. Now, the animation in Corpse Party, the OVA, it's okay. I actually don't mind the animation for this short series. It's actually really good for an OVA. But the problem is, as it goes on, the color scheme becomes more and more darker. Darker to the point where you could barely see what's going on for the visuals of the series. Like, the first episode, it was alright. Like, it got you into the mood. Like, it wasn't too dark, but it wasn't too light. It was spooky. It was pretty spooky. But once you get to the 4th episode, it's ridiculous in how much you can't see. Like, I couldn't see a goddamn thing that was going on. If there wasn't dialogue, I would not understand what was going on in it. If there was no dialogue, I would not understand anything. Or if I didn't play the games in the first place. The pacing for the first episode was great. Like, Chapter 1, it set the tone of Chapter 1 quite well, though it did miss a few details, such as Seiko and Naomi meeting up with the ghost that tells them that they're stuck in this dimension. They kind of left that part out, which was a really important part of the first chapter, but I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that complaint and go ahead and just state that the pacing of episode 1 was alright, other than missing out a scene. But for the rest of the episodes, it kind of went way too fast. Like, every part there was a big plot point in the story, they kind of just skimmed past it a little bit. And, like, they skimmed past it just to get to the gore. Like, I felt like they were pacing it so that the gore would have much more screen time than the actual story of Corpse Party. It did have the story, like, it made sense for someone who played the games, but if I watched this blind without playing the games before watching, I'll just be confused as hell the whole time. Now, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and make some pinpoints of the stuff that I think they should have done better in the OVA, or at least included in the OVA. And to begin off with, Mayu and Miss Shishido's arcs in the OVA kind of felt like they were just in there to be killed off. Like, Miss Shishido, she barely had more than 5 minutes of screen time. They kind of tossed her to the side a little bit, in my opinion, because in the game, she was a very important character as a teacher who is proclaiming that she will save her students and that she will do anything for her students, and she made one of the vengeful ghosts realize that not all teachers are bad. They had no mention of that in the anime, except for the scene where she was trying to get Mayu away from the ghost, but that was not well done. Like, I don't think she was done justice like she was in the game. But in the game, they kind of did her dirty as well in the final chapter, with her walking in at the last moment to see a Yumi in the room with the collapsing floor, and she's crushed to death by the floor. I'm not going to go ahead and explain that ending of the game, since that is a spoiler, though I am saying some spoilers in this review. Some stuff I would want you all to check out for yourself in the Corpse Party game, but one of the alternative endings of Chapter 4 shows a little monologue of Miss Shishido as she's dying in the bottom of the hole, which was really, really well done. It made me freaking cry. But still, Miss Shishido, there could have been more justice done to her character, along with Mayu. Mayu was still not that shown. Like, she was shown much less as Miss Shishido, and she kind of was only shown in the scenes where she was introduced, and then the scene she died. That's the only points we get to see, which is alright, I guess, since that's all we really see of her in the first game, but this was made after Book of Shadows. I kinda would've wished they elaborated more on her character. Now, I am going to go ahead and say my biggest complaint about this OVA series, which in this series, this could have been added in. The mystery buildup of Kazami. Because in the game, in Chapter 3, when you first meet Kazami, he actually seems like he's going to help Yuka, up until he reveals that he is a sociopath. In the anime, they kind of went ahead and just revealed it right as he was introduced, because in the anime, there's a scene where Yuka meets up with Kazami as she's being chased by Morishige. Now, usually in the game, she walks around with Kazami for a little bit until the reveal is made. While in the anime, the reveal was done instantly as Morishige runs up to them, and Kazami just flat out kills him and reveals his true colors right then and there within the first 2 minutes of his introduction. I myself did not like the pacing of that, because I would rather have the mystery of Kazami build up like they did in the game, because the build up in the game was actually really good, and I was really shocked when it was revealed that Kazami was a bad guy.
No, though. She's gone. Killed by actual spirits. I guess it wasn't those I guess it was those children. What the fuck? What?
Like, I was really shocked to see the reveal that he was an antagonist, but in the anime, it did not give anyone that satisfaction of realizing that Kazami's a bad guy. It's only 4 episodes, I can get why they did that with the pacing, but still, I was kind of disappointed that they just did it right then and there, and killed off Morishige before we could see more of his regret for what he was doing in Heavenly Host. Before I talk about the ending of the show, I was going to go ahead and state some of the stuff that they kind of did not include in the OVA, which probably should have been there. Like, I just made a little checklist of stuff that they forgot from the first game that I thought was really important, and I think that they should have included in the OVA, which is Kibiki. They mentioned Kibiki, but they didn't really show much of Kibiki other than being Nahao's mentor and her lover. Well, the one-sided love that Nahao has for Kibiki. I don't know if Kibiki shares it. He probably thinks of Nahao more as a student rather than a love interest. But they barely mention too much of Kibiki, and all they show of him is his corpse towards the end. They also forgot a big part of Ayumi's character, where she gets possessed at random points of the story, aka in Chapter 2 when she's possessed multiple times and Yoshiki has to save her from herself while she's being possessed. They forgot to include any of those scenes in the OVA. They just jumped right to them finding the tongues of the children, which that kind of made me annoyed a little bit that they did not show character development between Ayumi and Yoshiki. Like, they show their characters quite well, like I can still see that they're both Ayumi and Yoshiki, but I feel like there could have been more done to show their interactions within the School of Heavenly Hosts like they did in the game. They also did not really include Byakuden High. Like, they barely mentioned anyone from Byakuden High. Actually, no, they didn't even mention it. Kazami just appeared. And last but not least, they didn't even include Taguchi. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the ending. So, the ending was basically based off the ending where only Ayumi, Naomi, and Satoshi are alive, since Yuka is killed and Yoshiki's killed. Now, the way they both died, though, was kind of ridiculous. Like, after Kazami's killed, he suddenly turns into the anatomical model. Now, it was never confirmed in the game whether or not Kazami was the anatomical model, but, it implied that. Like, it only implied that. It never explicitly stated that he was the model. It just, like, let out a mystery of who the model was. Well, the anime, he just flat out reveals himself as the anatomical model and begins stabbing Yuka to death. Like, I I did not like the way they presented that scene. Like, that scene was presented in a kind of hammy, kind of ridiculous way. And Yoshiki coming in to save Yuka, that was still kind of not done that well. Like, yes, he got Kazami down, like he took down Kazami, but then he's killed in a brutal way by Yoshikazu. I still think they could have done Yoshiki's death better. I still think they could have done Yuka's death better. They still could have let more mystery onto Kazami. Like, there was no mystery for Kazami the entire time. No mystery at all. Like, they did still include the storyline of the principal of the old Heavenly Hill School killing both Sachiko and her mother. They included that storyline, which I really appreciated. They also included the storyline of Sachiko killing the kids in the underground bunker. That was well done too. But everything else was kind of just felt like it was rushed to show more gore. And the final sequence of Naomi and Ayumi coming back with only Satoshi's hands, it did leave out an interesting, it left off a very interesting concept of why is if one of them has a different scrap paper, because Satoshi gave Naomi Yuka scrap paper after she lost hers, and Ayumi still had her paper. But Satoshi, he didn't have a scrap paper. Wait, no. I think he gave her his scrap paper, and he took Kazami's scrap paper. Yeah, that's how I think it went down. Since he didn't have a scrap paper from their charm, only his hands returned, which was okay. Like, I felt like that was an okay addition to the story. Like, it was a creepy ending for Satoshi, stating that only his hands returned, and it kind of leaves off for the whole time loop that Satoshi has. Like, it kind of leaves off the indication that Satoshi's beginning his time loop. But still, it kind of did not leave me with a satisfied, it didn't leave me satisfied. Like, that's all I'm saying. The ending was not a satisfying ending to the OVA, and I felt like it could have been done much, much better. I felt like they could have just adapted the original, true ending of the game, rather than, trying to make something new and different. But two of the factors I really enjoyed was the music. Like, the music, yes, that's the kind of music I want to hear in a Course Party adaptation. Like, it's the music from the game, which really works to get off the tone of Course Party, because the music of Course Party makes the game. And the voice acting. Hell yeah, the voice acting, they did a wonderful job with the voice acting. Like, I've seen some shitty voice acting work in OVAs, but this OVA, they did great voice acting, and I believe it's the original voice actors from the game. I'm not 100%, but I think it's the voice actors from the game. If I'm wrong, I'm really sorry, but I think they use the same voice actors as they do in the game, which was awesome. Like, they did a great job reprising their roles if it was them. And if it was different actors and actresses, they still did a great job in portraying the characters quite well, and portraying the emotions they're going through in Heavenly Host. So yeah, this animation is definitely one I would recommend to fans of Course Party. Like, if you like Course Party, I would recommend this OVA. If you don't know what happens in Course Party though, I would say that you should probably play the games first, and then watch the OVA. But anyways, everyone, thank you all for watching this video. If you have your own thoughts of the Course Party OVA that you want to put down in the comments below, please put them down below. Like, I want to do some discussion about this because I didn't like it too much myself. But if you enjoyed it, I kind of want to see what you had to say about the anime. And if you also dislike it, I want to see what you have to say about the anime. And so yeah, that's all I'm going to say for this video. Thank you all for watching. The Course Party OVA is not the worst thing I've seen. I've seen a lot worse. It's just that I felt like it could have been done a lot better, just to show that I really enjoyed these games. Like, I really enjoy these games, and I mostly did this review just to show that the OVA could have been done better, but it's not the worst. That's basically the point of this video, because I really don't want to do too many review videos on this channel, because I'm very, very weird when it comes to anime, TV shows, and movies, because I have different opinions about everything. And yeah, I just feel a little bit awkward doing a bunch of reviews. But if you enjoy me doing reviews, I'll do more. It's just that it kind of feels awkward. Like, for this review, I'm sorry if I sounded a little bit rambly and and awkward during this whole time, but I'm not used to, well, making my opinions outspoken about movies and TV shows, so this was a great experience for me, and if you guys want me to do more in the future, I'll be willing to do more so that I can feel more comfortable reviewing stuff out in public. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and you might see me on the review couch once again. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you all next time. Okay.
Okay, okay.